Is the new American dream just to leave America?
I started living in the US. I'm leaving America to move to a country that I've never been to before. I don't know anybody who has been there. I just booked my one-way flight and I'm wondering where it is. I'll tell you. I'm moving to Albania. Now, I know you might be thinking, where the hell is Albania and why would you go there? And if you're black, you're probably thinking, do they even like black people?
I left America 6 months ago and my life is infinitely better.
We are very, very seriously starting to consider leaving the United States, and I just want to hear from someone who's done it. Where did you go? How did you decide that's where you're going? How did you get a visa? Do all of that?
Dream just to leave America? Yahoo Finance thinks so. The new American dream is to leave. Most US citizens don't believe hard work will get you ahead. Everyone knows by now it takes way more than just hard work to get ahead, and no one knows that better than us millennials. According to the Association of American Residents Overseas, 5.4 million Americans are expats. They want to live in a place where they don't need 2 or 3 jobs to just survive. Post-pandemic inflation has messed everything up. Everyone is more so worried about paying rent this month rather than long-term goals. So what's the option? But this Axios article really caught my attention. The American dream for some is leaving the US. Thanks to social media giving us a window into the lives of those who have been brave enough to leave, the rise of people applying for European visas has gone up since 2020. And a lot of countries offer digital nomad visas, which I've covered on my page: Japan, South Korea, Costa Rica. But I love this. This couple in their 50s said that they have been aging in reverse since leaving the American toxic hamster wheel, like straight from the horse's mouth. So I want to know, what's your controversial opinion about leaving the United States? Let me know in the comments. This is a topic I've been all about.
We are very, very seriously starting to consider leaving the United States, and I just want to hear from someone who's done it. Where did you go? How did you decide that's where you're going? How did you get a visa? Do all of that? I'm definitely researching on my own, but if there was someone I could connect with who's done this before, I just would love to utilize you as a resource, and yeah, if we can help one another, please.
I left America 6 months ago and my life is infinitely better. Let's talk about it. First things first, I've talked about this in other videos, but it cost me around $1,000 to leave the States, which is significantly less money than I ever anticipated. And I think it's a really important thing for everyone to be talking about, that it actually costs a lot less than you might think to leave the US. Since moving abroad, these are the things that have improved in my life. First and foremost, my physical health is infinitely better. Why? The food is better. The air quality is better. I'm happier. I'm less stressed out. Medicine and healthcare is way more affordable. We're talking apples and oranges. People are nicer here because they are happier here. It is significantly easier to cultivate community in a place where people are trusting and loving and empathetic and kind. And I cannot stress this enough. My central nervous system is relaxed and calm for the first time in my life.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Hope you're doing super great from wherever you are. Now, American dream is no more. Why am I saying so? A lot of American citizens, or a lot of people who live in the America as a continent, are getting to realize that there is life outside America. A country like United States is being faced by multiple problems. But the world is looking at the United States. Its citizens itself are trying to leave, going to get life out there. People are getting to learn that there is a whole different social life outside the United States. And people are living. Honestly, as a creator, I've interacted with people who are telling me, how is your country since last year? This is something that has been happening, right? And this is just a glimpse for me as a person who has experience, who has interacted with people who want to leave the United States. And most of people that I've encountered who are in the United States are always saying that, man, I want to get outside here. I want to leave this place. I want to go find life somewhere else. And people are getting to learn, and people are getting to see that the American dream, that the lie was sold to people, is no more. People are seeing to it that they could start their own lives somewhere else. People are saying that America is polluted already. They want to go a place where it has not been polluted. That could be in Africa, could be in the Caribbean. People are living and going in different places. But why? a couple of reasons people are going to share, and you're going to be seeing the perspective of all these people, whether white or black. People who are inside the United States are leaving the United States for a couple of reasons. I want you to buckle up for this video where people are going to share their perspectives as to why they are leaving the United States and going to different places that they have chosen to go. These are presenting Jintuk stories, and I'm hoping that if you're watching us for the first time, I'll ask you to subscribe to the channel. I'll ask you to join our membership and really get to see what we can offer you. For those who are always supporting me through my Cash App account, it's on my bio. I highly appreciate you. For those who are sending me super thanks, just know that I'm highly appreciative of what you're doing, because you are keeping me moving by the motivations that you're giving me. Now, let's watch the video. I'll be back, and then, we'll have a talk in regards to this.
I'm tired of living in the US. I'm leaving America to move to a country that I've never been to before. I don't know anybody who has been there. I just booked my one-way flight and I'm wondering where it is. I'll tell you. I'm moving to Albania. Now, I know you might be thinking, where the hell is Albania and why would you go there? And if you're black, you're probably thinking, do they even like black people? I don't know much about that last one. We're going to have to figure that out together, but we'll talk about the first two. Why Albania? So I chose Albania mainly because of the lower cost of living, easy visa process for Americans. One thing I want is a walkable city with a lower cost of living where I'm able to enjoy myself, go out, meet people, and still have a great base to travel from to other countries around Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. And Tirana gives me all of that. Apartments in Tirana go for around 450 euro to maybe 800 euro if you're looking for a really bougie apartment. US dollar in Albania goes very, very, very far. So those are the reasons why I am moving to Albania. If you're interested to see my journey, make sure to hit that follow button, and I'll see you when I see you.
Leaving my home country was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I'm talking mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Putting yourselves in different cultures is just so eye-opening. Like when you see how people are living in other parts of the world, it forces you to realize what we take for granted back home and what we put too much value on back home. Like in the US, all we think about is money and other toxic things like status and clout. Making money is very important in today's world, but it's just a piece of the pie. Life is truly just a balance of health, relationships, finances, and enjoyment or entertainment. And I felt like in the US, I was forced to basically abandon my health, relationships, enjoyment just to get in a good financial position. And living abroad truly helped me fix my life balancing issues, giving me more time for what truly matters. So if you can relate to how I felt back when I was living in the US, let this be a sign to get out and travel more. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back.
I want to respond to this comment. The new American dream is to leave. I 1000% agree with this because I moved from California to Dubai. Best decision I've made, because the American dream that we were taught as kids does not exist anymore. So for example, we were told to go to school, get a degree, buy a house. How are we going to do that today? I'm from San Francisco, and the average house in San Francisco right now is $1.2 million. Who the F can afford a $1.2 million house? And again, this is not even a beautiful house. There's gonna be homeless people probably right in front of your house. People are gonna be breaking into your car. It's so dirty, it's so disgusting. It's not safe. Like, who wants to live like that? I'm sorry, I have to leave, and I'm glad I did.
So it looks like a lot of us want to move out of America for obvious reasons. I am one of you. This is my timeline. I am hoping to leave in the next 2 years, if not 4 maximum. And here are the avenues that I'm pursuing. First of all, if you're a citizen of a country that has been colonized by Spain, I am Dominican, you can get a fast track citizenship in Spain, meaning that instead of the 10-year track that it usually takes, you can do it in 2. That's one of the avenues I'm pursuing. That's the main one that I'm pursuing right now. Second, you can teach English in foreign countries like Japan, South Korea, Spain, Europe, all of the above. There's programs for that. That's the second avenue that I'm pursuing. And the last avenue that I'm pursuing is moving back to my home country of the Dominican Republic. We have a house there that my mom built. All of these avenues, except the teaching English one in a foreign country, would involve me getting a remote job for sustenance. For a job would be so that I could have, money, career in that foreign country. It'll probably, the cost of living in Spain and the Dominican Republic are both lower than here in America. So as long as I can get a job that's equal or about to the salary that I was making here in Charlotte, I should be fine. Teaching English, it gets a little bit trickier only because you have an in-person job that you have to attend. So having a remote job will be a little bit trickier for that. So if you guys have any questions, as always, let me know. Bye.
You know, because America is just ghetto as fuck and has been for quite some time. So this is a very great question that was asked on one of my videos that I did yesterday that got a lot of commentary. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Travel Queen and your favorite Leo. And I talk about how my Black family of 4, we have moved out of the United States, okay? We been gone, y'all. So for all of you guys that are on talking about something, you ain't about to do it anyways, I'm ignoring you. I don't even care about your comment. But what I'm here to do is be a resource for those of you who want this information. So I saw a lot of comments under the video asking, case in point, where are people going? All right. I also saw a comment that was quite interesting and said, well, we aren't accepted most places. Like, where is that information coming from? I find that comments like that oftentimes come from people that have not traveled. They ain't been nowhere but outside their own neighborhood. Okay. So the list of countries that I'm going to give you, they are also very welcoming to African Americans. If you feel like you want to stay closer to the United States, then you don't want to obviously go further out to like a Bali or Thailand. But these countries, you want to start by researching what the visa processes are. You want to see what the financial requirements are for you to be in that country legally, because I would never say plan this, start planning and be in a country illegally. All right. No, we're not doing that. So here is a list of countries that you can start researching for yourself and get the information. I'm here as a resource. If you would like to book a consultation with me, you can. All right, here we go. Ghana, Belize, Portugal, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Thailand, Mexico, Bali, Philippines, and Vietnam. Now, some of these places you might be thinking to yourself, what? Wow. See, that reaction, it automatically goes away when you travel to these different countries. And that's why I like traveling so much, because when you travel outside of the United States, you learn that the cost of living is cheaper. You can live way less than what you lived on in the United States. The food, it's much better. They're not sprayed with all of these pesticides and GMO products, right? Oftentimes, when you go outside the United States and stay for at least a month, your health is going to change. The air is different. You know, they judge us really hard in the United States as it relates to our credit. When you move outside of the United States, people don't care about what your credit looks like. And you can go and apply for an apartment in the United States and get denied for a home loan, for a car loan, based off of your credit. That is non-existent in another country. The quality of living and the peace that you experience, even while traveling, and for myself and just living abroad and traveling so much, the peace that I have experienced has been a peace that I have never experienced inside the United States. The freedom that I have experienced by traveling and being outside of the United States has been a freedom that I have never experienced inside the United States. It's been a freedom that I didn't even know that I needed.
I asked ChatGPT where I should move because I no longer want to live in the United States of America, and this is what they said. First of all, I told ChatGPT that I was looking for a safe place to live, good education, family values, slower pace of life, car not necessary, open-mindedness, and to consider the fact that I only speak English, but I am willing to learn another language. And this is what they said. Finland, number 1. Number 2, the Netherlands. 3, Portugal. 4, Denmark. 5, New Zealand. And I'll go over these options with you guys in the next video.
If you are a citizen in the United States of America and you need to leave the country as fast as possible, there are a few things that you need to make sure that you have. It's not as complicated as other people like to make it seem. It's not as complicated as other expats and travel influencers like to make it seem. It's simple. It is simple. You are overthinking it. You are overthinking it. Your ancestors fled with nothing on their back and nothing on their feet, with dogs and men with guns chasing them. Stop fucking making excuses, okay? Number one, if you have a passport, I need you to make sure that you have your passport with you at all times. If you do not have a passport and you are unable to get a passport because you are not technically a citizen or do not have the rights to receive a passport in the United States of America, there are other ways. Please just say something in the comments or send me a DM and I can make another video on that. Aside from that, for the people that keep saying they don't have the money, you do have the money, okay? If you have a consistent paycheck, I don't care if that bank, if that deposit is coming into BOA, if it's Capital One, if it's Navy Federal Credit Union or another credit union, wherever you have your checks deposited, whether that's a Social Security check, whether that is a paycheck, whether that is child support, wherever the most consistent money has been whatever account that the most consistent money has been going into, that is the account that you need to be going to. That's the bank that you need to be pulling up at. You need to be speaking to a supervisor and you need to be asking for a low interest loan. I don't give a fuck if you never pay that loan back. Fuck them. Okay? Hear what I say. I don't give a fuck if you ever pay that loan back. Fuck them. This ain't about that. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't about that. This is about you getting yourself and your family to fucking safety and to freedom. Freedom. Okay? Let's say you're pulling in $2,000 every few weeks. Or 2,000, 2,000, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter what the amount is. And the money has been consistent and it's been going into BOA consistently every 2 weeks because you've been working at this job for years. I wouldn't give a fuck what the job is, as long as the money is consistent and the bank account can see, the bank teller can see that the money is consistent. They will give you a loan. They will give you a loan. They will give you a loan. Take the 5,000, right? Take the 5,000, ask for a little bit more than you usually get. If you usually get about 2,000 every few weeks, then double that. You want to ask for 5. If you get, a little bit more than that, then ask for double that. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? Take that money and leave. Take that money and leave because you deserve fucking freedom. Do you understand me? Take that money and get the fuck. Fuck them. Fuck them.
This is the plan. Their plan is to isolate us from the rest of the world and to make all Americans afraid to travel outside the country just as much they are trying to get people afraid to travel to the country. And I'm right there with you with this comment right here. I myself have a family trip coming up in 2 months. My family and I, we planned a trip to Europe to do a Mediterranean cruise. And I was telling my husband that I genuinely am nervous to try to come back to the country without somehow being harassed when we try to get through customs for being 2 men with our son. That is where we're at now, even though we are all US citizens with US passports, because they are clearly pushing the envelope with how far they could go in targeting people that they deem any type of threat to Trump and his agenda. We are seeing people with green cards getting detained. We're seeing US citizens being detained for questioning and harassment. This is happening more and more and more. We're also seeing the number rise of international travelers coming in despite having the correct paperwork, that they are being detained and searched. We're hearing it. This is a very frightening time. And there is a part of me that doesn't want to live in this fear. We want to keep living and plan as if this trip in 2 months is going to actually happen. But there is a part of me that is also bracing for this impact of, that's even if we're able to go to Europe at that point. So my suggestion would be, we are at a point now that if you can, to start doing research on how to leave. If you have the means to do that. There are a lot of countries out there that have various rules and procedures in applying for visas, long-term stays, dual citizenship. I am actually working on my dual citizenship for being an Italian heritage, for having Italian ancestry. I have found out that I am actually eligible to petition for dual citizenship. Many of my friends, colleagues, people that I know that I talk to more and more are also going down this route for their respective ancestry. It is unfortunate that this is where we are at, but we have to start planning. And the window to plan is getting closer and closer to shutting. So I would strongly suggest looking for countries, starting to research that for those that do not have very long-winded, drawn-out rules on what it takes to get there and stay there for several months at a time. There are countries you can research that you can go literally tomorrow and stay long term, assuming that you apply and can get the means to get out there. So please start researching to protect yourself and your loved ones. But we are reaching that point, and if not already. And so, yes, being afraid to travel in and out of the nation, that is the plan. That is where we are at now. And I myself am right there with you. Because of our trip coming up, I am not 100% sure at this point how it's going to go. A lot will happen in 2 months. I have a colleague who also is traveling abroad for a vacation, whose spouse is a green card holder. They themselves have no idea what to expect when they try to re-enter the country, hearing all of this just, elevating and the frequency rising more and more of these instances of people being detained wrongfully. But be safe. I would say start planning. Be well, and we can all just take a collective breath and start making our plans, because we're heading there. Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. You've probably heard the perspective of everyone who's sharing their opinions, the reasons as to why they're not seeing life in the United States. And if you get to look at sometimes back when TikTok was closed and the citizens of the United States went to the China app. I've forgotten how it's called. Yes, the citizens went to an app in the Chinese app that really showcased the lives of citizens of China. And they get to show that really they have been living under oppression. They have been living their life sad. They have been trying to see the social life outside America, and they're getting to see, wow, people are having the best lives out here. People are living cheaply out here as compared to the type of life that they're living in a capitalistic United States. That's a polluted place, right? And so people are getting to see that they can have a fresh start, because everyone, business owners, they're afraid that they might be wiped out by how the economy, by how things are really running. The United States belong to the 1%. The 99% got nothing to do with this. And honestly, if there is a person out there who is capable of living and really they want to live and they want to get a fresh start, whether in Africa, whether in Caribbean, whether any place that you want to go which is outside the United States, I wish you all the best in your journey. Because honestly, that's the best move that you're going to be taking. And people are tired because you can't be living in a country where you don't know whether you'll wake up tomorrow in the morning when the prices of eggs are super inflated, right? And it's crazy. And it's crazy that a lot of things are happening at the same time. And people are asking themselves this question: are we really in the right country? With everything that is happening, people are visioning the United States falling. So people are left with no otherwise but to seek other places, to seek other alternatives, to seek and see that they having an environment where the kids can grow without thinking about the cost of living, without thinking about the cost of housing, without thinking about the cost of education, without thinking about all these tariffs that is being pushed towards the American citizen, the consumer, the taxpayers of the United States. So it's crazy, and people are making the right decision that is working for them. And honestly, I support everyone who is making the right move, because for the longest time, most of American citizens that I've seen in different countries, trust me, geopolitically, they'll share that their lives has improved with the same amount of money that they were earning in the United States, but outside the United States. They'll tell you how their health has improved because of the food that they are taking. They'll tell you how their routine is well, right? They'll tell you how they're bonding with nature, and all of these things, you can get it out there, but at a cheaper way. You don't have to be in the United States. And honestly speaking, I'm not creating this video to make you leave the United States. You've seen me reacting to a video of a lot of citizens leaving and giving the reason as to why they are leaving the United States. So I hope you all are great from wherever you're watching this video from. But honestly, I congratulate everyone who is making the right choice to move. Whether you're planning to move, or whether you're already moving, or whether you are making arrangements of how you can move, or you're having future plans of moving, man, all I wish you is just the best, because that's the best thing you can ever do. This is the time where we're envisioning where an empire is falling, and the United States is not an exemption in this, because it has all the similarities with how Rome started falling, with how Rome fell. So let me know what you think about this video from wherever you're watching me from. Whether you are American citizens who has already left the United States, or you're an American citizen who is still planning to leave, let me know. What are your plans? Why do you want to leave as a person? Or why don't you want to leave? Sorry, I really want to know your opinion in regards to this. Now, as you know, there's a presenter in Chintalk Stories, and I'm hoping that you are super, super great from wherever you're watching us. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.